I would like you to imagine a new family moving into Canton. And one of the members of that family goes out church shopping on a Sunday. They return home, and everybody gathers around them and asks him, "Is that the church that we should go to, or should we look for another?" I wonder what will our imaginary visitors say about us, about Christ the Servant Parish. What signs of Christ's presence are embodied in our lives? They may come back and they'll say, "Oh, they're very friendly people." But what are the Christ-like behaviors that are unmistakable in the way they live? The whole community together. Are you the one, or should we look for another? Jesus is committed in his life in fidelity to God's way of living. God's way of living in this world. Are we the same? Or is it business as usual? Do we hide behind our religion? Do we hide behind all the formalities and yet never allow Christ to be revealed within us? The Lord is calling us on this third Sunday of Advent to look at who we are. Jesus was very clear about who he was. And he reminded us that in his person, in his very person, Jesus of Nazareth, who walked this world, that God was doing something new within his life. That same message is ours. God is trying to do something new in each one of our lives. And Isaiah the prophet today, what a beautiful reading, that first reading. When Isaiah says, "The desert and the parched land will exalt, the hands of the feeble will be strengthened, the knees that are weak will become firm, and those whose hearts are frightened will be strong." It's a vision of a renewed community, a renewed person, a renewed energy, a renewed life within the community. Or, if we reject that renewal, if we reject that vision, are we just looking for the best of what was? This new age and this new life, first of all, has to be rooted and born within our hearts. It is only then that the transformation can take place, that the actual embodiment of God's Word, it gets carried within us. The embodiment of God's Word becomes flesh. The embodiment of God's Word is so evident in our life as a community that everyone can recognize the presence of Christ, the real presence of Christ gathered in the community. And so today, we have an opportunity to carry out God's aims in the world, God's purpose in the world. We have an opportunity to heal. We have an opportunity to teach. We have an opportunity to comfort. We have an opportunity to feed and to clothe. We have an opportunity to befriend each and every one who is here. But we also have the opportunity to befriend so many who are out there, who are alone, who are lost. And it may be our presence that brings about God's salvation. It may be our life, our word, our reaching out, our hands stretched out to those in need that brings that salvation and that presence of God. Hopefully our imaginary visitor will return home saying, I find no stumbling block in this community. No stumbling block to God's way. No stumbling block to God's purpose. No stumbling block to God's project in this world. Because I look at this people called Christ the Servant, and I see that they give food to the hungry. They lift up those that are bowed down from illness and from unemployment. They lift up those who have lost their dreams and their hopes. They protect the stranger. They welcome the immigrant. They help the fatherless and the widow. This is what this community is about. This is what I found when I went out looking. This is what we are called to become. God bless you.